Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. I'm here to do a review on the Martin Xenon for 2015. Martin Xenon, 34-inch axle, compression limbs, is about 800 retail Australian, so probably about 600 in America. Now this is a bow, when I first saw it, basically in sales I ignored it. So it's probably a bow you haven't even looked at, not a bow you've even considered. And it's not a bow I thought it was too expensive, so I basically didn't look at it. And when people came into my shop looking at bows, this is not a bow I considered, and I'm the Martin distributor. But then this week my son said, look, he said, I really like this bow. He said, bow looks really cool. He said, I want to have a shot with that. I'm going, oh, it's too expensive for what it is. And we shot it and we were really impressed. So that's why I picked this bow to do a review on today. And I want to basically go through why I thought it was too expensive and why I've changed my mind. So anyway, we'll just go through it. Machine riser, 34 inches, about 330 feet per second. So it's not blistering fast, but it's pretty acceptable. It's over the beginner standard. One string stop down here, string riser dampeners in the riser. The cam system is a silk cam, so a single cam bow, which is the same as the Martin Krypton, same as the Afflictor, same as the Falcon, identical cam system, so there's no difference at all. The cam is very adjustable on this bow. So down the bottom here you've got little pegs, that's standard, there's -10, there's -20, so moving the cable to each of those positions reduces the poundage by 10 pounds. That's very cool. Moving that cable also decreases the draw length by 1 inch. This bow is adjustable from 26 to 32 inches in draw length, so it's a very adjustable bow. And what I like about this cam system, it's very smooth. It's got a draw stop on the cam, so it hits the limbs when you draw it back. So it hits the limb stop here. Is what I find with archers, they get started, they're shooting, they love it, and then they want to buy another bow. Now with the silk cam system, it's very adjustable, so let's say you buy a 60-pound bow or even a 70-pound bow, you've got 40 pounds of adjustment in this bow. So the average guy will shoot about 60 pounds. So he buys this bow. This bow's adjustable down to 20 pounds. So when he wants to buy a new bow, this bow's perfect for his partner, perfect for the teenage kid, very adjustable. So that's very good with any of the Martin silk range. That's the Krypton, Afflictor, Falcon. Now you've got Gordon glass limbs on this, and we're just going to go through the difference between this and the other bows and why it's $200 more expensive than the others. But I'm going to start off with the Krypton. So the Krypton, this is a blue one. So I did a review on the Krypton when it first came out, basically the first day it arrived. It's a bow I loved. And things have changed a lot with this bow since it's been released, and it's still changing. But let's just start off with basics. You've got a cast riser here, bridge riser. It's very light, 3.2 pounds, 315 feet per second, same silk cam system, nicely balanced in the hand. Nice little bow. For its price, it's about $450. Nice little bow. Then you spend another $200, you get the Afflictor. Same cam system, machine riser, so you've gone up from a cast riser to a machine riser. You've got riser dampeners, you've got an improved limb system, so these limbs here are the same sort of limbs you'll see on a PSE, Matthews, basically most of the bows are a Gordon glass limb. Metal limb pockets, about $600, and when I shot this bow I was really impressed by it. I said this is one of the best bows I've ever shot. Then I came to the Xenon. This has got a machine riser too. Same limbs, same cams, and I'm like, why would you spend $200 extra for this bow? Now we're going to shoot this bow, and when I shot this bow, so the draw cycle's smooth, same as the Krypton and the Afflictor, it's easy to hold, easy to shoot, but when you shoot this bow, in your hand afterwards, there is basically no movement. So I was comparing this bow to the Afflictor and going, look, you wouldn't want to spend $200 more on this bow, you'd buy the Afflictor. what you're picking up is you're picking up a bow which is 2 inches longer axle length, so more forgiving, easier to shoot than the Afflictor. Bows which are generally 34 inches are more expensive 3D bows, so you know the Bear Arena 34 inches, the Decree HD 34 inches, all those bows are around the $1,200 mark. This one, $800. Now, when I shot it, the bow basically sat there in my hand, there was no vibration. With the Afflictor, when I did the review, I said it was really good, and it was really good, and it basically jumps out of my hand about that much. So I had about that much movement, and you can feel a little bit of vibration, like it's extremely good, but this bow had nothing. Like, absolutely nothing at all. So I was wrong with this bow. I was comparing it to the Afflictor. I should have been comparing this bow to top-of-the-line bows. So I should have been comparing this bow to really, really expensive bows. So I'm just going to compare this bow to the other $800 bows in its bracket. And you'll see why I ignored it. And then at the end of this video, we're going to go back to see why I think this is actually one of the better $800 bows on the market. So the first bow we'll compare it with, this here is the Martin Lithium Ltd. It's been a really, really popular bow for 2015 from Martin. It's got the cam and a half system, machine riser, breech riser. It's been a really good seller for me. Machined limb pockets. Shoots great. Okay, 340 feet per second. So 10 feet per second faster than the Afflictor, than the Xenon. But the weight of this bow is heavier than the Xenon. Does it have more shock? It's about the same, but you may get even less shock with the Xenon. The Xenon is very impressive to shoot. So this bow has been really popular for me for target archers, 3D archers, hunters who want more accuracy. So that's the Lithium Ltd. Price point about $850 Australian, so it's going to be about $650 American. Now this is the Mission blade, so top of the line in Mission, so that's made by Matthews. Mission is the cheaper line of Matthews. Now the Mission line, for me, it's new in Australia and often overlooked because it's just not well known. Now when Matthews ship bows, you'll see this little rubber band, plastic bands, and I've sent these bows to people and they go, it's faulty. Look at the rubber band. Matthews has stuck this thing together with a rubber band. Pretty much, I'm going to say all the Matthews that come from the factories have those rubber bands around the handle. So if you get one and it's got those rubber bands, this is straight out of the box, cut it open, the little rubber bands around there, and they stick it around pretty much all of the bows. So you just basically unpeel the rubber band, no issues. You've got a wood grip riser there, string stop, machine riser with a dampener down the bottom. Now this cam system is impressive. It has roller cams, roller bearings up for the yokes. It's a very impressive cam system. It's the same cams that you'll see on the Chill. Very deep grooves here that the string sits in. Very impressive bow. The speed of this bow is 340, so faster than the Xenon. It has plastic limb pockets and it's got modules to adjust it. So basically if you buy this bow at 28 inches, it will have a 28-inch module. If you want to then adjust that bow to 29 inches, you need to buy the module for that bow. Modules are around $50, $45. It's a nice little bow to shoot. If you don't want to spend the money and buy a Chill, this is a budget Chill basically. So $850, a really well priced bow. PSE Bow Madness. PSE, huge company, great customer service, fantastic product. It's a cam and a half system. Compression limbs. I mean, PSE is just a fantastic product. This Bow Madness, 32 inches axle, rotating module down the bottom to adjust draw lengths. Speed on this bow, I think it's 335. So a little bit faster than the Xenon, pretty similar to the other bows, which are 340s. A really nice bow to shoot. A lot of people like this for target shooting, 3D, machine riser. it's a good little package, nice bow to shoot, good cam system, great little bow. Now I always get hammered by Hoyt shooters whenever I compare the charger, but it is the Hoyt $800 equivalent to the other bows. You've got a plastic limb pocket. You can see the limbs don't have a lot of pre-tension on them. This is module adjustment, so you've got to buy new modules when you want to change the draw length. Speed on this bow is about 320 feet per second. It has roller bearings in the cams. Hoyt make a quality product. I think this is a cast riser. What I like about the Hoyt is the grip. The grip, I think, is just, it's a really, really comfortable grip. And what I find is each bow manufacturer will have a grip consistent to the designer of the bow. So if you draw back any Martin, the grip feels the same. If you draw back any PSE, the grip feels the same. If you draw back any Hoyt, the bow feels the same as a Hoyt. If you draw back any Darton, the grips are all the same on all the Dartons, and all the Missions and all the Matthews, the grips are all the same. Hoyt make a very comfortable grip that puts your hand in the natural position it's meant to be in. I mean, I always get criticised. I think it's too expensive for what it is, because it's 320 feet per second. You need to buy modules for it, but it is a quality product. Hoyt do make a nice product. You're not going to have any problems with it. It doesn't have the compression on the limbs that the other bows have, all the other bows in the range, but that's the Hoyt. Bear also have a really nice bow in their range. It's called the Trax, same sort of price point, same sort of speed, same sort of limb design as the rest, compression limbs. Always a good bow to look at. So getting back to the Xenon, $800. That's why I overlooked this bow, because it wasn't the fastest bow in the $800 bracket. In fact, it was one of the slower bows in the $800 bracket. It didn't strike me as being any better than the Afflictor, and it didn't strike me as being as good as many of those other bows I just showed you. So I basically ignored this bow. Last year Martin had a Xenon. They've always had a Xenon, but this bow is way, way different than 2014 Xenon. The limbs are different, the riser's different, the cams are different. I'm just going to go through some of the points. The top wheel here has a big arc, so you get no string wear around the cam here. It's very good. But the big thing about this bow that I like is the shootability. So we're going to shoot a couple of arrows through it, and what I want you to look at is the vibration in my hand after I shoot the bow, because there's basically none. So the bow's very quiet to shoot. I think this is, like when you come into my shop, I have Bear, I have Matthews, I have Hoyt, I have basically every bow line. I have 1,000 bows on display. It's overwhelming for a person to come in and go, I want to buy a bow, because you can shoot all these bows, and this is not a bow I normally give you. But I think this, in my whole shop, this is one of the best bows I've shot. And that's, $1,300 bows, everything thrown in the pile. This is one of the best bows I've shot. So we're going to have a shot with it. And basically, if you get a chance, or if you're coming in the shop, ask for a shot of it, because it's very, very impressive as far as vibration. Whether it's worth the extra $200, I don't think it's worth $200 more than the Afflictor, but compared to the top of the line $1,300 bows, this is great value, and I think it shoots every bit as good as any other $1,300 bow on the market. So compared to a $1,300 bow, I think this is really good value, and I'd put it up against any bow in my shop. So we're going to have a shot and see what you think. Okay, so I've got the Xenon. I'm shooting a Velocity gold tip arrow, which is a fast target arrow. I'm shooting a thumb release aid, which people can watch me punch. Hopefully I won't punch it this time. But what I want you to look at is the vibration in this hand here when I shoot. So we'll just draw it back. I don't tend to shoot the first shot. So I draw, it's solid. I'm hitting the valley about here. Still in the valley, really valley, long valley. Now I've hit the wall. So this is where the string stop hits the limb and I can't move any further. So it's very, very comfortable. And I'm letting this bow down. So valley, 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 valley. Now I'm peaking. So what you've got with this bow is quite a big valley. So with a lot of the speed bows, you've got a very short valley. So if you start to let off the tension, the bow wants to rip out your hands. This is a very comfortable bow to shoot, so you don't have that feeling. Same with Krypton, same with Afflictor, because you've got the same cam system. So that's not why you're buying this bow, but it's a nice bow to shoot. So that's the first thing. Over the other $800 bows, the other, all the rest, you've got the faster cam system, so you've got the shorter valley, not as comfortable, okay? But not as comfortable means more speed, okay? So let's just draw this back. I'm going to take the shot. So you just want to watch my hand. My hand's loose. Now I felt no vibration at all, like nothing at all. The bow did move in my hand when I shot, and the reason for that is because I heel the bow. When you shoot, it's going to jump, it's going to push out on the shot. So as you shoot, it's going to push out. But there's absolutely no vibration at all in this bow. I'm just going to have another shot. Like the strings don't vibrate after the shot because you've got the compression limbs. Not as much compression as the PSE, but still, it's still good. Like a lot more compression than the Hoyt. Not as much as the PSE, not as much as the Matthews, but still, there's compression there, and the shot feels great when you shoot. It feels a really easy bow to shoot. So I really like this shot. I'll take one shot from behind so you can see. Now my sights aren't set, so I'm not even looking at that. I'm just getting a feel for how this bow is to shoot, and it's nice. It's one of the best bows you'll shoot. So we'll just have a shot from behind. To me, it's hard to describe, but it's smooth, and people use that word. The draw cycle is one of the best draw cycles of any bow. Matthews no cam included. I think it's probably better than the Matthews no cam draw cycle, and the Matthews no cam is one of the best draw cycles in the business. I think it's better, I think it's smoother, I think it's easier. The valley is bigger in this. So it's a bit like the Matthews Chill. If you've shot that, it's got a big valley, much like a huge let off. This feels more comfortable than that. The Matthews Chill, it's a lovely bow. It's got a big let off, and you kind of feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. And I think this is because this has got the limb stop. So I draw this back really hard against the limb stop, so I still feel pressure, but I don't want to kind of flop all around the place. So the draw cycle is really good as any other bow made. The shot feels as good as any other bow made. Now the down points, Martin, I love Martin, the company, the people who work there. Now Martin have had problems in 2015. That's my first point I'm going to make. They've had problems with their strings, and they've changed manufacturers of their strings. I think they're in their third manufacturer of strings, and they're using well-known companies. And the problems they've had is with the serving. Basically, if the serving is too fat, where it goes around the cans, the serving will start to split apart. And it doesn't split as such, it basically comes apart a bit. Now the solution for that is thinner serving. So I've had some shops fix this up on other bows, and they use the same serving, they have the same problem. I fix it, I don't have the problem. I'm not saying I'm better than they are, it's just, know your product. And basically all bows are the same. Around the cam systems you want thin serving around where the things run, and around here you want your knocks to be pretty tight around where your string goes. You don't want nobly tight, and that's just the way it is. If they use cheap serving, you're going to get cheap quality strings. Now, Martin have issued me with new strings for all my bows I've sold this year. So every new bow I've sold in 2015 gets a new string. Like, most haven't had a problem. I've got guys who shoot Martins every single day because they come to the shop every single day and they shoot every single day and they watch these videos and they know who they are. And some of them haven't had any problems. Some I've had to reserve, and when I've reserved, no more problems after that. And they shoot every day. So that's the downside. They have had a hiccup with the manufacturers of their strings. You know, they've had some issues with cams. They've updated their cams for 2015. But overall, like, I'm happy that a company takes the foresight and fixes problems, and they basically, Martin want to fix it, so you're happy with the product. I like that. They don't, I mean, I'm looking at a 2-week delay, and I'm in Australia to get a Martin if I have a problem. So basically they ship to me every Tuesday, 7 days into Australia. It takes them about a week to put together an order. So generally it's 2 weeks, and I'm very happy with Martin's service. They ship pretty quick. I like the product. But the Xenon I really like, and I'm just going to grab the blue Krypton. These are the blue Krypton. I've got these done in all colours. I'm going to have blue strings made up and orange strings made up for the orange ones. This is a bow I love, the Krypton. I like this a lot, and I think the Xenon would be a great 3D bow. A good bow for a more advanced archer because it's still easy to shoot, and it's a bow you could give to someone else and say, here, you can shoot this bow. I mean, to anybody. It's a top class bow. Nothing wrong with the Krypton or the Afflictor, okay? Nothing at all. It's just this bow is basically, feels like a $1,300 bow to shoot. And it's as good as a $1,300 bow. And I will say with a $450 bow or a $600 bow, you're going to shoot fine. So the reason you buy an $800 bow is because you go, $800 is not bad value, and I want something which is really nice to shoot. The Afflictor is really nice to shoot. So I would like it in target colours, so I'll probably have a few painted up, like the blue one, in target colours with the black limbs and some blue strings and stuff for target shooters, because 34 inches is fine for target, fine for 3D. I love the bow. I've already brought a bow for this year, but this is a bow, I mean, out of all the others, I mean, there's been some great bows I've shot this year, but I really like this, the Xenon from Martin for 2015. Far improvement on the 2014 model, so if you've got a 2014, we see the 2014, the 2015 is a big improvement. It's not really, it has the same name, but it's not the same bow. So check it out at your shop, Martin Xenon 2015. I think it's cool. Thank you. Bye.